Chuck Schumer's having a meltdown over a ballroom, and it tells you everything about this week. While he screamed about wasted taxpayer money, the truth emerged. Trump and private donors are actually paying every penny, but that lie was just the appetizer. This is the week that the dam broke. CNN admitting Trump's the most influential president of the century. Judge Jeanine coming back to prosecute the swamp. The EPA actually cleaning the environment instead of virtue signaling. Nuclear subs deploying while we feed the hungry. Foster youth getting real help, not hashtags. Even their own media can't keep lying. The left didn't just lose the narrative, they lost their minds. Every attack backfired, every lie exposed, every victory undeniable, and Chuck Schumer looks great in a princess dress. Now let's get into it. If you're just getting close to retirement or just thinking ahead, you've probably done a solid job of saving, but here's something that most people don't consider. How much of that money is just sitting in cash? You might feel safe, but holding too much cash guarantees only one thing, that you're losing purchasing power. Inflation eats away at it, keeping the dollar's value and the dollar's value slipping. That's why most people are looking for real assets like physical gold and silver to protect their savings. Noble Gold Investments makes it easy. Visit nextnewsgold.com, and when you own real assets, you own real wealth. The number's on the screen, 877-646-5347. Give a call. Tell them Gary Franchi sent you. Okay, so Chuck Schumer. Oh, sweet Chuck Schumer. Crying. One of the things he's greatest at, I should say. Here he is, calling the $200 million White House ballroom wasteful. Meanwhile, Caroline Leavitt setting the record straight.
September. Here's even something more confounding. Some breaking news. Just now, the White House announced construction of a $200 million White House ballroom that will begin in September. A $200 million ballroom. Where'd this money come from? Did Congress appropriate it? I don't think so. It's almost like Doge was never about waste at all.
President Trump and other donors have generously committed to donating the funds necessary to build this approximately $200 million structure.
There you go, Chuck. You just got schooled.
Even something more.
You just got schooled. But, why isn't Chuck talking about that $3.1 billion renovation over at the Federal Reserve? He's not complaining about that, is he? He's not holding Powell's feet to the flames. No, he's not. Okay, but he wants to complain about Donald Trump wasting taxpayer money, but Caroline Leavitt clearly says, no. It's donors who are paying for it. More gaslighting and lies from Chuck Schumer. Oh, but he wasn't done. Chuck Schumer blatantly lies, saying Doge cuts are being used to pay for the $200 million White House ballroom. In reality, President Trump and private donors are paying for the ballroom. All Schumer does is lie, just like he does when he pretends to be having a Memorial Day cookout.
His new plane. It keeps getting worse. Today, Donald Trump and the White House announced they're going to spend $200 million to build a large, fancy White House ballroom. This is what Doge was all about, folks. Cutting things, taking things away from you, and not giving it to some place that needed it. Giving it to the big shots who run the show, Donald Trump at the top of the list. Maybe he can park his new plane in the big ballroom. It's probably big enough.
Yeah, you know what, though? Donald Trump's balls are bigger than yours, and you're just jealous, Chuck. Yes. You're just jealous because Trump has big friggin' balls. Speaking of balls, Sydney Sweeney's American Eagle campaign is receiving criticism for genes, a gene pun that some say echoes eugenics and white supremacy. Yeah, that drama is ongoing. Nothing new under the sun. Here we have more on there's apparently a tariff lawsuit. The president must follow the law and the Constitution, calling Trump's tariffs unlawful.
Power. We have this important thing called the Constitution, and the Constitution says that only Congress can do tariffs. Congress has given the president some powers, but there's sideboards to that powers. And so the president right now is abusing an emergency power to try and implement tariffs in a way that no other president has done. I do agree with you, right? Tariffs can be helpful. You should give some deference to the president, but the president's just like you and me. You got to follow the laws. You got to follow the Constitution. All of us learned that in grade school. We have this.
Yeah. Apparently, you didn't listen to the economics behind it. BLS commissioners aren't briefed on jobs numbers until 2 days before release. Virtually no chance to manipulate data unless Trump appointee changes the rules, they're saying. Dan Coe, founder of Reverate Media, former White House, City of Boston, Huffington Post. That's all you need to know.
Like the final score.
Dan, you worked at that agency. 1 to 10, 10 being basically worst case scenario. Where do you put this?
This is about a 9.5 trending to a 10. Look, this is like firing the referee because you don't like the final score of a game. If you look at the typical timeline of how this works, the BLS commissioner isn't even presented with the data until the Wednesday before the announcement. By the way, the president claimed that he first saw the jobs data this morning. That's almost certainly a lie. Typically, the president and his senior team are briefed the day before the jobs numbers come out.
Dan, you worked at that agency.
Oh, yes. Trump's a liar. Trump's a liar. Trump's a liar. That's all they say. But what does Trump talk about here about talking about Gaza?
Fed.
You had more of an update to give us on Gaza, on the Gaza Strip. Can you give us any?
Only we want the people fed. And we're the only country that's really doing that. We're putting up money to get the people fed. And Steve Witkoff is doing a great job. And we want Israel to get them fed. We're giving some pretty big contributions, basically to purchase food so the people can be fed. We don't want people going hungry, and we don't want people to starve. And there's some bad things happening.
I'm sure they're going to criticize him for that. Here we have President Trump talking about about Russia.
What Steve Witkoff's message will be to the Russians? Is there anything they can do to avoid sanctions at this point?
Yeah, get a deal where people stop getting killed. They had a number that just came out that a tremendous number of Russian soldiers are being killed. And likewise, Ukraine, a lower number, but still thousands and thousands of people. And now we're adding towns where they're being hit by missiles. So it's a lot of people being killed in that ridiculous war. And, you know, we stopped a lot of countries from war, India and Pakistan. We stopped a lot of countries. And we're going to get that one stopped, too. Somehow we're going to get that one stopped. That's a really horrible war. You heard about Cambodia and Thailand. We got that one done. We got the Congo, which was going on for 31 years. Rwanda. That one's done. We stopped a lot of wars. This is the one we seem to be, this should be the easiest to stop, and it's not. I mean, Rwanda and Congo were going on 31 years when I got it stopped. 8 million people dead, at least. That's what they have, but I think the number is much higher. And the leaders of each country, Rwanda and the Congo, they were great. They were great, and they wanted it stopped. 31 years it went on. We stopped a lot of wars. Serbia, Kosovo was going to be happening, and I don't believe it will now, so we stopped.
President Trump stopping wars all over the world. We got to get that war stopped over there in Russia, Ukraine. Here he is talking about those nuclear subs that have been deployed.
Russia, on Russia, Mr. President, can you say, have those nuclear submarines been deployed yet to face Russia?
I've already put out a statement, and the answer is they are in the region, yeah, where they have to be.
On Russia, Mr. President.
Nuclear subs in the region. Here we have Trump's EPA racking up win after win, advancing clean air, land, and water for all Americans. Lee Zeldin on State of the Union on CNN. Not the safest of places for a member of the Trump administration.
Proud of over the course of my first 6 months on this job, the announcement that I enjoyed putting out the most was on the 100th day of President Trump's term in office. We released 100 environmental accomplishments that we did in those first 100 days. We're very proud of our historic wildfire cleanup in Los Angeles. We increased water quality standards in southeast Pennsylvania and into Delaware along the Delaware River Basin. Just last week, I was in Mexico City announcing an international agreement with Mexico to advance a permanent 100% solution to resolve the Tijuana River raw sewage crisis that's been plaguing millions of Southern California residents for decades. And that is a pace that motivates us to keep up. We are very proud of all of the accomplishments. As you pointed out, I'm currently traveling around New England, visiting Superfund sites that are getting cleaned up. And EPA, over the course of years and decades, has been doing an amazing job as it relates to the Superfund cleanup and the brownfield cleanup. We're advancing cooperative federalism and getting state implementation plans done. We're getting through our backlog. We inherited a pesticide review, a new chemical review. There are amazing, dedicated employees at this agency all across this entire country doing important work, and we're very proud of that work, and we're going to continue to keep that pace up.
Keep up the pace. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. So, this week proved something beautiful. The truth is undefeated. Schumer lied about the ballroom, caught red-handed. Trump's feeding Gaza while telling Russia to stop killing people. Actual leadership, not tweets. Zeldin's EPA delivered real environmental wins without the Green New Deal nonsense. Judge Pirro is coming back to deliver justice. CNN even had to admit that Trump's reshaping the century. The left threw everything at the wall: Russia hoax, revelations, fleeing legislators, mind control programs, fake economic data, and constant lies. Nothing stuck. Instead, each failure exposed them even more. They're not losing because of Russian bots or solar flares or not enough cowbell. They're actually losing because Americans see through their games. So here's the question. Is this the beginning of the end for the Democrat Party as we know it? Drop a yes or a no. Hit the comments and celebrate this winning that we're kicking off this week by grabbing some gear at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com.